Okay, this video is for looking at conditions for a triangle, looking at angles. So we look at the angles of a triangle. we should know that the three angles of a triangle have to add up to 180. So we would say that angles, if we look at angle A, angle B, and angle C of any triangle, we would know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C has to equal 180. And I actually proved that by assembling three versions of this triangle here down below. And you see, if I place the angles A, B, and C together, it actually forms one straight line, or 180 degrees. This is known as the triangle sum theorem, which states that the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180. So angles X, Y, and Z, when added together for any triangle, will end up being 180. So in class, you might be given this task: draw a triangle with each of these sets of measures. So we have one angle is 50, one angle is 60, one angle is 100, one angle is 40, 50, and 60, one angle is 20, 70, and 200, one angle is 50, 60, and 70, 20, 70, and 90, and then finally a 40, another 40, and 100. Well, if you actually constructed those triangles, you would find that there are three possible combinations that can form a triangle. So these three will form a triangle. These three will not form a triangle. So why is that? Why can only 3 of the 6 form triangles? Well, because the angles of triangles have constraints or limits. Okay, so looking back, what can we notice from the combinations we created? Is there a pattern or rule about angles, about what angles will make a triangle and what angles won't? Well, from looking at these sets of triangles and knowing about the triangle sum theorem, we can conclude that 3 things. 1, if there are 3 angles added together that are greater than 180, those 3 angles will not form a triangle. So we have that here and here. If you add those together, they go beyond the 180 degree mark. Second, if the 3 angles added together are less than 180, the three angles will not form a triangle. We see that here. This would only add up to 150 degrees. And then finally, we can conclude if the 3 angles added together are exactly 180 degrees, the 3 angles will form a triangle. And this is true for these 3 situations. All right, so triangles with angle conditions. Here's an example. Determine if it is possible to draw a triangle with angle measures 15 degrees, 55 degrees, and 110 degrees. Well, 15 plus 55 and plus 110 equals 180. So yes, this condition would allow you to draw a triangle with these 3 angles. All right, let's look at another example. Determine if it is possible to draw a triangle with angles measures of 35, 45, and 50. And when we look at those, 35 plus 45 plus 50 will be less than 180. Let's see, it would be, so that would be 130. And 130 is less than 180, so that is a no on that one. Therefore, a triangle cannot be drawn with these angles. So as another example, it says determine if it is possible to draw a triangle with angles measures 45, 45, and 130. Well, 45 plus 45 plus 130 would be greater than 180. So 45 and 45 make 90. 90 plus 130 would be 220. And 220 is greater than 180. So no. Therefore, a triangle cannot be drawn with these three angles. However, you don't only have to know if a triangle can be drawn with certain angles, but you have to know how many triangles those certain sides will make. And those choices are impossible, no or zero triangles are possible, unique, only one triangle, and then not unique, more than one triangle can be drawn. So let's practice them. So here are some situations that we're going to look at. Okay, so it says angles 20, 60, and 90. Well, 20 plus 60 is 180, and 180 plus 90 is going to be 170, and 170 is less than 180, so no, you cannot draw a triangle with this, and it would be impossible. Next one, we have a 20 degree, a 30 degree, and 250 degree. I don't even have to focus on the 20 and the 30. Since this last one is 250, it's beyond the 180 mark. So therefore, this is a no. You cannot draw a triangle that has sides or angles greater than 180. So this one is impossible as well. But what about this one? 41, 56, and 83. Well, if I add those together, they actually add up to 180. The 1, the 6, and the 3 is going to give you 10. Plus 40 is 50. 50 plus 50 is 100. And 100 plus 80 is 180. So this is yes, you can draw. The question is, well, how many can I draw? Is it going to just be one, or is it going to be more than one and therefore be not unique? So that's something we have to look at. So here on this slide, we see that using those angles, 41, 83, and 56, we have drawn 4 different triangles. Okay, what do you notice? What's the same? What's different? Well, they're not identical. They're not all identical copies. They look like the same triangle, but clearly the scale is different for each of these. This one is bigger than that one. This one is bigger than that one. These two seem similar, but I can't tell. They have the same angle measures. We see that. But they have different side lengths. So clearly the length of this side, which corresponds to this side on this triangle, are not the same. So we can conclude then that with given 3 angles that will form a triangle, you can draw more than one triangle with just those conditions. A problem you might see in class also is Andre and Lynn were asked to create one triangle with the following conditions. The triangle must have the angles 45, 75, and 60. And looking at the 2 triangles that are made by Andre and Lynn, do these match the given information? Yeah, they do. They both have 45, 75, and 60 for their angles. Did they draw identical triangles? No. They didn't draw identical triangles because even though they have the same angles, you can draw different side lengths with those because there's scale differences between those. The information or conditions the students were given was not enough to create a unique triangle. So when we look back here, we find that yes, you can draw triangles that fit the conditions of being 180, but that set of conditions will not give you a unique triangle. It'll give you more than one possibility. So the rules for constructing triangles given angles only, 2 rules. If the sum of the angles in the triangle are less than or more than 180, therefore it is impossible or no triangle is possible with those conditions. If you were given 3 angles that add up to exactly 180, you would end up with a not unique or more than one triangle possible.